Anda kembali menyaksikan CNBC Indonesia Awards 2021, The Best Technology Companies. And let's continue our discussion today. Next, I'm going to Ms. Pandu. Ms. Pandu, how does DeBio users can take advantage of the medical data on DeBio ecosystem?
Thank you. And this is actually a very interesting question and a very important one as well. We have been speaking the entire night about this side of users, which are the people who are generating the data, the people who are doing genetic testing, who are testing their genes, their own genes, and testing their own, using the biomedical tests available on the platform. But there's actually another side of users. And these users are actually researchers who are actually utilizing the genomic data, biomedical data, and every kind of data that reside on our platform in a way that is still 100% anonymous, no KYC required, no KYC connected to the DNA. And the researchers can basically purchase access to these sets of data. And the way they purchase the access is doing something called privacy computing. That is, the data resides on our end, and we help you as a researcher process the data and run algorithms on it, and then get results from it. So you can, for example, indicate the prevalence of a certain gene, a breast cancer gene that you discovered, and you'd like to check within the population the prevalence of that gene. You can do so with this kind of system. So you can actually utilize directly the medical data and the genetic data that is on our platform that we're going to be putting on our platform as well. So I think this is actually quite new, and I don't think there's another platform that actually does this globally, not just in Indonesia. So we are very excited on actually doing it. And of course, because we are decentralized, everything flows back to the users as well. The users get access to the monetization and evaluation of the data directly on the platform.
Okay, next I'm going to John. John, you mentioned earlier that Myriad users can monetize their content through NFT and also token, which is also a very new term for a lot of people here. So can you explain to us a little bit more about the feature?
Yeah. So I get it's a bit confusing because as you're saying, it's very new. There are two main ways to monetize your content on Myriad. The first is through cryptocurrency tipping. So I think a lot of people here in Indonesia are already familiar with the term cryptocurrency. And it is basically a digital currency that is decentralized. And we are using it on Myriad. So you can send some to users that post things that are interesting to you, that you want to support. And as a content creator, it's something rather new and very practical. Because, well, what I used to say is if you want to make $1 on YouTube, it takes thousands and thousands of views before you can get it. But if you want to make $1 on a system like Myriad, it takes one person tipping you $1, and that's it. So that's one thing I think that's very interesting for creators. It allows them to both sell their content, get their support from their community, and dialogue and connect with that community in the same place, in the same timeline. And of course, there is this possibility to turn any of your content into NFTs. So NFTs basically, it's a piece of digital content that you can prove belongs to you. So it's very difficult to do that with current technologies, but technologies like blockchain, which we are using, are actually making it much easier. And you can create a picture, you can create a post, you can create an article, upload a video and say, okay, this is me who created this post, who uploaded this. And since it is mine, I can now sell it for the price I want to sell it. And when someone will buy it, it will belong to that person. So it's not like a digital copy where you have access rights and where you have licenses. It's just like bringing a physical object, gifting a physical object to someone. So you're gonna buy an article I will write, like you would buy my second-hand phone, for instance. If you have it, I cannot have it. It transfers its ownership. And this is also excellent for creators who want to create limited edition of their work, who want to know, who want to trace who buys it. And it's good also for collectors and for buyers who want to resell content that they buy online. And this is currently very difficult to do with traditional platforms. So this is why we're saying you get control on your content, not only the content you produce, but also the content you acquire. And you get control on your monetization because you are the one who set the price and you are the one who control how much you tip.
Okay, so users can make money easier on Myriad than other social media platforms. That's very interesting, Danny. And next, I'm going to Ms. Pandu. In terms of technology, what is the main focus and what innovations will DeBio Network do to strengthen the target market?
We are developing multiple technologies. I actually mentioned earlier privacy computing, a way to actually do research on a set of data without getting access to that set of data directly, just getting the results run on our compute clusters on Kubernetes. There are also ways to ensure that labs can sell to users physically, and users can do self-sampling on their genetic data, like do their own buccal swabs and then send over samples anonymously, physically, but anonymously, and then receive results back in a way that is fully anonymous. We call it the physical to digital bridge. There's also ways to ensure that users that do not have labs in a certain region, like if you are in a location, let's say, I don't know, I used to live in Bandung, for example, and Bandung does not have a DeBio lab yet, you can basically stake your tokens to request for a lab to come. So staking is actually something that is very, very common in DeFi and the DeFi ecosystem, decentralized finance ecosystem, degenerate finance ecosystem. But it's not very common in the mainstream business. So we're sort of introducing that. So a user can stake an amount of tokens to ensure that labs come. So I request a lab to come by staking a number of tokens. Like I really want a lab to come to have whole genome sequencing in Bandung. And I am in Bandung, so I'm staking a number of tokens in Bandung. And the labs throughout the world can actually see that in Bandung, there's actually interest of like 100 users who want to get whole genome sequencing and are willing to pay this much. So this actually connects directly between one side of the ecosystem and the other, users and labs. The labs can see the actual market demand in a way that is 100% transparent and in a way that is very clear and very, very provable because everything's on the blockchain as well. And once labs come in, the users also get rewards from getting labs to come into their region of the world or their city. And this allows a network effects to appear and push our platform to build itself with the users and the labs. That's not it. There's actually a ton of other stuff that we've created in terms of technology, but I think those are the three main things.
Okay, next I'm going to Danny. Danny, we've seen that, how Myriad is, currently at the moment. So what are Myriad targets in the next 5 years? And are we seeing more and more a decentralized social media network in the future?
I think the trend is here to catch. I mean, this is a pretty strong trend. Decentralization right now is something that is getting understood by more and more people, and more people are seeing the advantages of decentralized technologies. just as a parenthesis, the internet as you know it is actually decentralized. You don't have one big server and one big building in which there is the internet. It's a lot of little servers everywhere which have a lot of different content, and it's a way there is an algorithm that's gonna tell your computer where to look for when you're looking for information when you're connecting somewhere. And it's going back to the roots. It's going back to the basics of the internet, bringing back decentralization for social data. And in the next 5 years, this is what we want to do. We want to build a platform, decentralized platform for social data. So everything you create, everything you own, you keep it in your inventory, like you keep physical objects in your backpack or in your purse, and anyone can build tools. Other developers, enthusiasts, hobbyists, they can build tools on the top of Myriad, of the Myriad platform, to leverage, to use their social data in the way they see fit. So maybe people are going to find ways to make games with their social data. Maybe they will come up with other user interface on the top of Myriad platform. Maybe they will find new ways to. Maybe someone is going to do a TikTok equivalent, a decentralized TikTok on the top of Myriad data, and all that as a user. You will on board, you will sign in only if you want. It's not like one big corporation that all of a sudden is going to buy something else, and then you're their users. You're not the users of the first app anymore. It's all going to be as the user wants and as the user decides. And big,
Okay,
very, very big.
okay, very big. Okay, next question goes to Ms. Pandu as well. What is the Debio Network strategic plan in Indonesia, let's say, in the next 5 years?
If we're going to 5 years, I just would like to give you guys a view of what we've done last year. We've created this company from scratch, and we've already raised a total of $850,000 of seed, strategic, and private funds combined. We're currently raising more in our public round, and that public round is still ongoing. So I'll let you know very soon the results of that as well. But after that, we are setting up a few things. So we recently signed an agreement with one of the labs in Indonesia called Genomic ERC. And Genomic ERC is doing a pilot study with us, and hopefully will be part of our production labs as well. We are raising a lot of interest from the labs, and we are also part of the DIY bio community. So we're, and that is an international community, not just based in Indonesia. So we're also raising interest, getting interest from a lot of the labs abroad. We are initiating these collaborations in the next few months, and we're ensuring that each user basically knows how to request labs for their area, so that we would understand exactly the demand for local labs, local genetic testing services, local biomedical testing services in a way that is explicit. And that's going to come within the next few months. The launch of the application is within this year, actually within the next few weeks. We're going to be launching, probably within the next week, actually. And we will keep on improving the application itself. At launch, it will focus on genetic testing services and requesting labs to come to your city. In the next phase, it will include not just genetic testing, but of course, biomedical testing as well. From the beginning, you can already upload your electronic medical records and have your own electronic medical record database that is sovereign to you, that no one mathematically can open without your own keys. So that starts from the beginning. But like next year is going to be very interesting because we're going to be using that medical data set to do a lot of things related to research, related to connecting to our data tokens that are being sold directly to researchers. So connection to researchers are going to be key in the next year. We are also researching ways to create a second opinion marketplace, second opinion, as in the electronic medical records that are stored within the DeBio Network and is sovereign to you can be revealed in a way that is anonymous to medical professionals to get their second opinion on things. So if you have a disease, if you are looking for a second opinion on your medical condition and you'd like to do it in a way that is purely anonymous, so sort of like, you know, the remote doctor services, I don't mention the brand, but like remote doctor services like that, but is fully anonymous. That is something that we would be able to do within the DeBio Network. And anonymous in this case means that it's not just anonymous to the users, it's also anonymous to me, anonymous to the people who are running the DeBio Network. Because on top of the platform is going to be everyone's anonymous to anyone, but you will still have your credentials displayed. So if you're a doctor, if you're an anesthesiologist, if you're an ophthalmologist, you'll be able to see your specialties. So that is still being developed, and that's in the next year. So if you're talking about the 5-year plan, 5-year plan for DeBio is to develop this entire platform, because this platform is not just a smart contract. This platform is an entire blockchain of its own. So we are optimized for genetic, biomedical, bioinformatics data, and bioinformatics services, biomedical services. So we would like to have people build on our blockchain, on the DeBio Network blockchain itself, and we would, a lot of people would be able to build new things, sort of similar to what Mr. Jean Daniel said. Whereas you can build TikTok on top of Myriad, we're thinking that you can build a lot of things as well on top of a biomedical data platform that also provides services. So yeah, that's sort of it. That's sort of the overview. Our public sale is still ongoing. You can just search for the DeBio Network. You will be able to find that. And yeah, that's sort of what I have from my end.
Okay, thank you very much for this very interesting discussion and for sharing insights with us, Ms. Pandu Sastrowardoyo, Reality Train founder and DeBio Network CEO, and also CEO of Myriad Sosial, Jean Daniel Gautier, and CNBC Indonesia Awards 2021, the best technology companies menatap landscape baru teknologi Indonesia. Dan pemirsa, jangan kemana-mana, CNBC Indonesia Awards 2021 akan kembali untuk pemberian penghargaan kepada para pemenang kategori The Best Technology Companies. Tetaplah bersama dengan kami. Untuk informasi lebih lengkap dan berita terkait, klik link yang ada dalam deskripsi. Dan jangan lupa untuk install aplikasi CNBC Indonesia di App Store dan juga Play Store. Jangan lupa subscribe ya.